Hi, this is India with Bags and Lifestyle. Welcome or welcome back, depending on whether you are new or returning. Very excited to do this video. I'm always excited to do a video. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. If you are new, I talk about handbags, usually with a pre-owned twist, but not always. And then the lifestyle part of my channel is just anything that does not have to do with handbags, and that could be topics on tips and tricks, how-tos, other product reviews, as well as commentary, opinion related topics. So definitely consider subscribing as well as watching other videos. As always, there will be a link to 2 playlists down below, so check out some more videos, like this one if you're enjoying it, as well as subscribe if you are enjoying my content and like my vibe, you know. Alright, so today my little props are not here. Here we go. Today, I will be doing a comparison. So this will be the battle of the contemporary card holders. And this is going to be a lovely Aspinal of London card holder against the Tory Burch card holder. Both are croc print, different types of croc print, and in different colors. So I will flip the camera around and we'll get into it. And as always, throw some questions down below if you have any, as well as any other suggestions or whatever else. I definitely enjoy hearing from you. All right, so we're going to flip this camera around and get started. Okay, so I got the camera flipped around. We have our Tory Burch wallet over here. If I remember the name of it, I will throw it down in the description box below. And then here's my Aspinal of London. So we'll go over three categories to compare these two contemporary brand wallets. First off, let's just go through and talk about the general specs of it and the features of each. So first off, I'm just going to measure. So we'll do Tory Burch first, since I bought that one first. All right, so it's about 5.5 inches in length. It is almost 3, actually just a little bit over 3.5 inches. So I would say like 3.6, 3.7 inches in height. And then, well, there's no width, as you can see, because it's a card holder. All right, so next up is going to be the Aspinal of London. So this one's 5.5. And height on this one is just a smidge under 4 inches. So I think that's about 3.8. And then there is a little bit of width because there is a gusset here. So we'll just do that, which that looks like it's about, I don't know, like 0.25 or something like that. Not a lot. All right, so let's go over the specs of each. So with the Tory Burch card holder, I'm sorry, it's not in view. There we go. With the Tory Burch card holder, I'll bring it up closer so you can see it. Tory Burch card holder, there are 5 card slots, and then you have a zippered compartment here that's in this dark kind of burgundy material, so it makes it really nice for if you had change or to keep it from looking dirty. So you have that, and there is nothing along the back. And then for the Aspinal of London, you have 6 card slots. I'm sorry, I keep saying card holders when I mean to say card slots. So you have 6 card slots along the front. At the top, you do have a zippered area. Now, on the Tory Burch, it was a leather tab. On this one, it's a metal tab. Not metal, but basically hardware with Aspinal of London engraving. You do have a rosy pink interior. And then along the back, you have another a slot here. That is the same interior as the zippered area. And actually, let me go ahead and measure the zippered area on both of these. Just the length of it, just so we can get an idea. Because as you notice here, this one's along the front. So there's a leather, this is along the front. So there's a leather piece here. And then there's a little bit of leather here. So it doesn't extend the entire length of the card holder. So if I go from zipper opening to where the zipper ends, we're talking just like 4.1 inches there. And then if I do the length here, let me turn it to the front so you can see, If I do the length here, we're talking, there's a little bit more room. So there's, oh, actually, to be fair, let me zip it open because a little portion of that is covered by the zipper. Okay, so there we go. So we're talking about just a little bit more, like 4.25 it looks like. So not too much of a difference. All right, so that's the specs as well as the features of both. Girl, you got to get in the camera now so you can be seen. So that's the specs of both. So now we'll move on to functionality. All right, so functionality wise, as well as just kind of the overall aesthetics of it, I like the croc print of the Tory Burch wallet more. When you look at the two here, you'll notice that the croc print is different. It's larger on the Tory Burch. The scales are larger versus on the Aspinal of London. I'm not an expert in croc print or never had a croc print bag, but I feel like the Tory Burch one is more realistic. I also like that the edges are curved along the bottom. It still is basically that square shape, but I like that the curvature at the bottom of the card holder is, to me, more feminine. I think it gives it more of a feminine touch to have it curved at the bottom, whereas this one can, I think, more unisex. It could be more, it seems a little bit more masculine to me because it's just hard and sharp with the edges. It does make it look more boxy. So when you see them together, and this one's a lot more shiny. I don't know if you're picking that up on the screen here, but this one's a lot more shiny. So I think Tory Burch executed the design better than Aspinal of London did. I'm sorry, I did not talk about price point. So this Tory Burch one, I think is about, I think they're around the same. I think it's either $98 or just a little bit above that price, maybe like $120 or something like that. If I can find out exactly, I will throw that down below. And then this one is $125. So wanted to go over that too. Sorry about that. I meant to say that earlier. All right, so that's the overall kind of like style aesthetic. Functionality, like I said, like the style aesthetic of this one I like better. Functionally, though, I like this one better because I can carry more cards, as well as I have a space that's solely dedicated to change if I wanted to, which is the reason why I looked for a different card holder than this one, because I was having to share the same spot for my change and my cash as here. And you may think, well, that's not such a big deal. And the issue I was having is that depending on how much change I had in here and the way, how much cash also, and the way I had it set inside, I would sometimes end up getting my dollar bills or whatever bills I had caught in the zipper. So I had to be careful opening and closing. So that was a concern for me. In addition to that, if I just wanted to carry more cash for whatever reason, I was concerned with kind of the real estate that I had. And I felt like the designated space on the front of the Aspinal of London for cards was perfect, because then I could have this space dedicated for either change if I wanted to, or if I didn't want to carry change, then I could just put my cash in here or extra cards that I want to secure. And then I also have this space in the back where I can put other things. So I have more options to store items in somewhat of a, pretty much they're almost the same size. So similar size, and I can store more in here than I can in here. So functionally wise, I feel like the Aspinal of London works better. Also, the placement of the zipper is really helpful. You'll notice that the Tory Burch wallet or card holder, the zipper is along the front, which, although we measured it and the Aspinal of London gives you a little bit more room, I feel like it gives you a little bit more, that little bit of difference does help. You'll notice here I have all of this space, which is a little bit more space to get in and inside and out of my card holder. Also, I can open it up a lot wider if I needed to versus this one. You can open it up wide, but I feel like it's just a little bit more of a struggle because it's along the front. Also, like I mentioned, I have the space in the back, which is perfect. Actually, what happens is, and some people may not think this is ideal, but There's no glazing on this one, so I'm not as concerned as I would be with the glazing that's on the Tory Burch. Is the fact that when I fill this area up with cards and then I have change in here, what actually happens is it kind of buckles. You see how, let me turn that down. You see how I've slightly had that buckling out a little bit? That's what happens when this thing is completely full with everything I want to carry, which is nice because that makes, I can easily get in and out. And like I said, I don't have to worry about it stretching the sides here because as you can see, it's stitched to each other. There's no glazing. So I don't have to worry about it stretching unnecessarily and causing any cracks like I would for the Tory Burch. So I do like that better. All right, so let's move on and talk about which one I prefer. If I had to go off of aesthetics only, Tory Burch wins. And if I had to go off of full functionality, Aspinal of London wins. So the perfect thing would be for the Aspinal of London to look like this one, but have all of the features. And I did check the website just before I started this video, and Aspinal of London has some other colors. So I think if they would have just made this not as glossy, it would be better. I think it's just, they just cheaply, I think, design. It just looks a little cheesy and cheap the way that they designed the croc print. I feel like just Tory Burch executed it better, much better in my opinion. So, but I get more function from this one than this one, even though I really like the color of this one. So whenever I don't want to carry change and I just want to put something in here like cash or just additional cards, I will definitely use this one. But versatility, hands down, this is going to be my winner. So hopefully this was helpful. I know that Aspinal London is not a brand that a lot of people have videos on and talk about on social media as far as like on YouTube goes. However, I will just say, I won't generalize it like that. I'll say in the United States. I know this brand is more popular overseas, whereas Tory Burch is, I think, more universally popular. So I won't generalize it like that and say that Aspinal London is not popular. I think in the United States, it just has not caught on. And if you are looking for some alternative and you want to look for something other than your normal kind of brands that you've heard of before, then try Aspinal of London. I think they're a good option. This is, like I said, very versatile, as well as I think it's gender neutral. So I think it's a good option as far as the style aesthetic goes. If you wanted to find something for maybe either a guy or a girl, depending on what their style is, I think this style works. You will find this under the women's section though. So I'll just leave a link so that way you can go directly to it. I did notice they added additional colors. So definitely check out Aspinal of London if you haven't heard of it. Or if you're looking for some more card slot options, I think they did a great job with designing it this way. So that way you have more real estate to add more items. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.